Hi there. I'm here to expose the insidious worldwide conspiracy by Monsanto to take over the world's food supply and inject GMO toxins into your food in order to poison you.
Actually, April Fool. I've been online for 29 years as I'm recording this, and if there's one group of people that I've encountered in all that time and been infuriated by more than any other, it's internet conspiracy theorists. Even when dealing with a subject that should be as innocent and fun as food and cooking, there are still scaremongers who insist on going out of their way to spread imaginary fairy tales of how the food we eat is actually killing us because it's laced with invisible toxins secretly added to control our minds and give us cancer. Of course, there's a vast conspiracy covering it up, but because we're all sheeple who need to wake up, it's up to the brave conspiracy theorists to expose the insidious truth about how they are out to get us. Or at least, that's what we're supposed to believe. The truth is, conspiracy theorists have been warning us of imaginary dangers around us since the beginnings of civilization, and with the rise of the internet in the past couple of decades, these conspiracies have only gotten worse. When I see ridiculous fairy tales being spread around by the likes of Alex Jones, the Food Babe, Natural News, and other paranoid crackpots, I get the strong urge to indulge in these foods and try them myself. And that's why I'm looking at the latest popular scare story, namely so-called GMOs.
Too many conspiracy theorists think looking at a propaganda YouTube video is supposed to be proof they are out to get us, and I'm not going to waste time on that. Instead, I'd rather suggest that if you want to get to the bottom of this, do what the conspiracy theorists love to say and do your research. However, be sure to look into sources that aren't full of paranoid scare stories. If we look at these sites trying to scare us about the dangers of Monsanto and GMOs, and we see them saying that chemtrails are being sprayed on us, that Monsanto is blatantly inserting poisons into our food, that insulin causes diabetes because it's made from genetically modified cell lines, and especially the utterly false and disproven theory that vaccines are dangerous and cause autism, then you can be sure that they're following an agenda, and there is no way on earth I'd recommend these sites for accurate and truthful information about genetically modified foods.
I'd rather put my money where my mouth is and cook something laden with these imaginary GMO toxins. And that's why here is 1.5 pounds of typical store-bought dried soybeans. I'll be slow cooking this in a cast iron pot and contributing to the poisoning of the world by actually eating it. Over 90% of farmland for growing soy in the United States is used for beans like these, that have been modified to be more resistant to standard weed killers, so farms can use less of it and save money. Somehow, hysterical scaremongers have changed this into the fairy tale that these beans actually produce their own pesticide, and I'm cooking and eating pesticides. But not to worry. If I drop dead after consuming these poisonous GMO soybeans, I'll still be sure to upload this video to YouTube.
Genetically modified or not, soybeans are very tough, and it takes a long time to prepare them for cooking. After soaking the beans for a full 12 hours, we then have to simmer them for another 3 hours in order to soften them and make them ready. Simmering the beans removes the outer hulls, and once the hulls are removed, we can now prepare our sauce for the beans using a classic New England recipe for Boston baked beans. And when it comes out of the oven, we have a pot of home-cooked beans that should please anyone.
These beans still have some bite to them, but they're not hard. That's the good thing about using soybeans. All this trouble over a pot of beans. I'm not dead. I don't seem to be getting poisoned. And quite frankly, this is delicious. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be getting cancer from this, that's right. Except that there is really no evidence whatsoever, based upon tests done worldwide over the course of more than 2 decades, of any increase in the risk of cancer from genetically modified foods versus so-called natural foods. All the conspiracy theorists can do is invent imaginary results and claim that animals can tell the difference between GMO foods and so-called natural foods. Except that they can't. And these beans I'm eating are not only safe, they're delicious. This is my statement. Genetically modified food is safe. Organic food is no more healthy than processed food. And we're all made of chemicals. If any political group uses fear and conspiracy theories in an attempt to get you to wake up, you can be sure they're following their own agenda. And I, for one, don't like having political conspiracies without any proof or evidence whatsoever to back them up shoved down my throat. You shouldn't have to put up with it either. So do some legitimate research and determine what is safe for you, and don't believe some propaganda presented to you on a YouTube video. Thank you for watching.